Undersecretary of Commerce for Minority Business Development, Eric Morissette. Executive Director of the Office of Small Disadvantaged Business Utilization and the U.S. Department of Commerce, Jamila A. Payton. Director of the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization at the U.S. Department of Transportation, Tyra L. Reedus, J.D. President of the Louisiana Chamber of Commerce Foundation, David St. Etienne. And President and CEO of the Women's Business Enterprise South and operator MBDA Enterprising Women of Color Center, Fela Meyer.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I can hear you out there. Thank you. Thank you. We are excited to be meeting with you today to discuss this very important topic, which is how you can leverage your small business to obtain federal contracts. We have all heard about the billions and trillions of dollars that have been made available through the Biden-Harris administration. But a lot of folks want to know, how do we get access to that money? As small businesses, we have a panel of experts here who are going to delve into how exactly you can get access to the resources to help grow and scale your businesses. So really excited about this discussion that we're going to have and this amazing panel that we have lined up. So look, I'm going to start with you, Undersecretary Morissette, to tell us a little bit about the Minority Business Development Agency and how it has changed under the Biden-Harris administration.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you so much for your leadership at the Urban League. Thank you for your thoughtfulness and your engagement, and thank you all for being here today. Welcome to this conversation. I like to tell people that MBDA is 55 years old, but 3 years young. We've only been around as a federal agency officially for the past 3 years. And what I would remind people is that thanks to the advocacy of the Urban League and others and members of Congress that we've been made permanent. I say that because we were not always an agency that's dedicated to creating wealth for minority communities around this country means something different for all of us. And I say that to also flag that this agency was not always that secure. A previous administration zeroed out MBDA all 4 years. And it means something to have permanency now. Thank you to the Biden-Harris administration. Thank you to the bipartisan members of Congress who passed the law that made us permanent. But thank you to the fearless advocates that created that permanency for us. MBDA's job functionally is to help minority businesses, small socially and economically disadvantaged businesses around this country achieve wealth. What that means is capital, money, contracts, like getting in there and getting those deals, and expanding their network. That's the job of MBDA. We functionally do that through our network, and we have two of our great network partners here that serve and support the Louisiana community. So I want to thank them for being a part of this, and also thank the partners that we work with all the time within the Department of Commerce and DOT, because this work, as we know as an agency, is not solo work. We are only able to do our job through the rest of the federal government and through our partners around the country. We have a network of 131 entities around the United States and territories whose job it is to help create that wealth, provide technical assistance to businesses for free, at any stage. That is, if I have an idea to create a business, if I'm a mid-sized business that I want to grow, if I'm a large business that wants to become even larger, we're here to help you so long as you are socially or economically disadvantaged. And that includes racial and ethnic minorities, our communities, our folks. And that's why I'm here, to make sure that you all are aware of our services available to you and you're availing yourself of those services.
Well, thank you so much for that, Undersecretary Morissette, and thank you for your leadership and the work that you're doing with the Minority Business Development Agency. I want to just ask you to explain a little bit. At the end, you mentioned the services that are available through the MBDA for small businesses. Can you share a few of those services and how folks can access the services of the Minority Business Development Agency?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the question. And I think two folks on the panel are part of the services that we provide as an agency. Absolutely. MBDA, as an agency, has our network of 131 equities. Those include business centers. Those are centers whose job it is to help, again, access capital, contracts, expanding their network. But we also have specialty centers like the Enterprising Women of Color, and I cannot talk about the Enterprising Women of Color without highlighting one of the best Enterprising Women of Color organizations that we have in our network, which is grounded right here in Louisiana. So thank you for your leadership and your work. We also have a capital readiness program, which is a capital fund of $10 billion, that's billion with a B, to help small businesses around this country access capital, that's money, so that they can grow and scale their business. Within the state of Louisiana, that capital fund is $115 million. Those funds across the country are not always easy to navigate, and we have capital readiness programs which are helping to navigate those programs. So he's the guy to help you access that form of capital and any other form of capital that you might need based on your business to grow and scale at your pace.
Wonderful, and we're going to get to the partners to explain the resources in just one moment, but I want to, as we think about the small business owners in this room, and they might be new to this process of accessing federal contracting, I wanted to turn to you, Jamila, from the Department of Commerce, to share with us some of the basic eligibility requirements for small businesses as they're thinking about, how to access and get those federal contracts.
Thank you, Tara, and thank you for that introduction. And Eric, thank you so much for the partnership and for the partnership on this panel. Indeed, this is a community effort. We cannot achieve our small business goals without your participation and without the participation of my partners here on the stage. That eligibility starts with this preparation that you heard here, these services. Please take advantage of everything that MBDA and the Small Business Administration, that's SBA.gov, has to offer. At the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization, we are the gateway to access to $756 billion spent in FY 2023, which is on an upward trajectory for FY 2024. And I say that to say that you all are business owners, you are entrepreneurs. Making sure that your firm has the necessary SBA certification will really, really go a long way with your engagement with the federal government. My job as the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization, like my colleague, is to help you access those funds and those contracts. Every day, I have a team throughout the entire department that looks and analyzes all of the contracting opportunities that we have to offer in the billions, and to make sure that those contracts are executed in a manner that's inclusive, to make sure that it's not out of reach for small and minority-owned businesses. So again, I can't stress it enough, take advantage of the resources here. Please go to SBA.gov, and if you're interested in contacting my department and my office specifically, please go to OSDBU. Again, that's OSDBU, that's OSDBU@gov.gov. And just with that email click, you'll get a wealth of information that'll help you navigate. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Jamila. And we're going to go to Fela shortly to talk about those certification programs through the SBA that you mentioned. But before we do that, I want to turn to you, Tyra, and ask you about what types of contracts exist for small businesses. So, we're talking about the various federal contracts. You're with the Department of Transportation. Can you just explain, the variety of contracts that exist that small business owners can take advantage of?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Tara. And good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you all being here. There are a number of contract opportunities that are available across the federal government in different agencies. I'll speak specifically first to DOT, Department of Transportation. So we spend about $9 billion for supporting the operations through our direct procurement that's directly through the agency. And then, of course, I think you all have heard about the bipartisan infrastructure law, which is over $500 billion that is flowing through the department for infrastructure projects across the country. And those funds go out as federally assisted funds to our recipients, like the state DOTs, the airports, the transit agencies, but there are opportunities for you to do work through our local recipients and gain access to those contract opportunities. And from the direct federal procurement side, so for DOT, we procure everything that you can think of in terms of, obviously, construction. We have construction projects, but we also do a high spend in program management, administrative, and consulting. as well as IT management and support. So there are a number of opportunities for you to work with the federal government. And I'll share with you our resources. So like my colleague Jamela, all of the OSDBUs have a forecast, which is a forecast of all the contract opportunities with that agency. I encourage you to go out to those forecasts, find the opportunity that you're interested in, and reach out to the OSDBUs for help in getting access to learn more about that opportunity and how you can compete for that contract. And for DOT specifically, we house our forecast on the OSDBU website. So if you go to transportation.gov/OSDBU, OSDBU, you can type in forecast, and you can go to our forecast and search. You can search by contract value, you can search by scope of service, you can search by operating administration, so Federal Highway, Federal Aviation Administration. So that's a really good resource to kind of start looking at what opportunities you'd like to pursue, specifically with DOT, but also across the federal government.
Thank you so much. So we've talked about the opportunities that exist on the federal side, the amount of money that is going out and that is available. Now I want to turn to our local partners here on the ground in Louisiana to talk about how you're actually connecting the dots with community members to get them access to these contracts. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Fela, and ask if you can share just some of the resources that exist, including certifications. We've heard about the Small Business Administration certification program, but the resources that exist for women-owned small businesses in particular to consider accessing the federal contracts in order to scale and grow their businesses.
Absolutely. The good news is that there are so many resources that are available, both on the federal level, the state level, and on the local level. But we are so blessed here in Louisiana to have this really tight network of supportive organizations helping women businesses and small businesses. And we'll start with free. I mean, one of the best programs that has come on our radar in the last 4 years has been through the MBDA grant program. And that is the Enterprising Women of Color Business Centers. And that ability to operate a business center that focuses specifically on small, minority, disadvantaged businesses has been a game changer for us. It is a free center. You sign up as a client, and there are so many resources and support to help you access opportunity on the government side and on the private sector side. Then you get into and have stepping stones that move you into other certification programs. Those certifications are not obstacles. They're really your gateway into a lot of opportunity, both in the government and the private sector. And so we have, through our organization, the WBE certification, which is a national certification, not local. It is a national certification for women business owners. We also have the WOSB coming out of the SBA. That is a free certification. It is the women-owned small business certification. That, again, open to everybody and just an absolute game changer in the ability to access, pull information, and be able to find your fit, whether it's on the government side or the private sector side. And then, of course, you know, we are working with all of our resource partners here on the local level to help access capital, to get businesses prepared, to help you develop your skills so that you can become competitive in your space and that you can really get in and compete for these opportunities that exist on the private sector side with all global corporations, local corporations, as well as government spaces.
And that's a wonderful transition to David. We've talked a lot about contracts and how to be competitive for contracts, but we know that what a lot of small businesses need is money, is capital, the resources to build their businesses. And so, David, I'd like to turn it over to you and ask if you can share a bit about the Minority Business Development Agency's Capital Readiness Program.
Absolutely.
And how that is supporting small businesses.
Absolutely. So once again, I want to say thank you, Eric. Thank you, MBDA. We are a grantee from a grantor of the Capital Readiness Program, and this program allows us to uniquely provide technical assistance to small and disadvantaged businesses throughout Louisiana. And when we talk about Capital Readiness Program, it means capital access. So we have a 10-month program allowing you to participate for free, as Eric says, bring you through that to gear you up to access the $115 million that he was referring to that the state of Louisiana has received called SSBCI money, State Small Business Credit Initiative. So when you go through this program for free, it allows you to access that $115 million, and it could be a startup business as well as a second stage business. It could be focused on a CDFI, which has a lower barrier of entry than a traditional bank, or angel fund, or venture capitalist. So depending on your business, depending on where you're at with it, and what is your appetite for equity partner or just a traditional loan, we help you get prepared for that. So once again, Louisiana, but across the United States, this Capital Readiness Program is available to everybody for free through your local state representative, and MBDA has over 43 partners in that they've issued out contracts for. This is a 4-year contract that we have in Louisiana. So once again, we're excited. We're excited to work with our partners like FAILA. So if you're a woman, do you have to go to FAILA? No. You can come here. If you're comfortable there, she has a unique set of programs that's very unique on that certification basis. But we handle everybody, socially economic disadvantaged enterprises throughout the state of Louisiana.
Wonderful. And I just want to throw this to the entire panel, because we've talked about the different ways that you all are servicing minority, women-owned small businesses. Can you share a success story? Can one of you kind of highlight a success story of a small business that, you know, got started and got access to federal contracts? And can you share with the folks any lessons learned from that process and what you saw?
Sure. And the true lesson learned came from our business center partners who are doing the work. And an example that I think of is the hard answer that a lot of minority businesses hear, which is a no before a yes. And that no can be the gateway to a blessing. And that's exactly the case. So we had a business center out of Ohio that was servicing 2 businesses. And one of the businesses, their construction company, they wanted to help provide support to the Department of Defense. They're like, we think we have everything we need. Our paperwork's all in order. And the business center said, you're absolutely right. Your paperwork is in order, but you're just not competitive for this. You're just not. You're not large enough. You don't have the capacity to take on that kind of project by yourself. By yourself. I have another client who's also interested in getting after that contract, and they cannot do it by themselves. But we've been working with both of you for a really long time, and we think that the 2 of you together would be the most competitive for this opportunity for a large-scale DoD construction project. They were awarded a $150 million contract together as a consequence of that business center pulling them together. And that's one of many examples of our enterprising women of color, our capital readiness folks, our business centers, working with people to pull them and find the synergies, and just understanding the unique things that each individual businesses bring to bear. Because every business, every entrepreneur is unique, and we've got to respect that and provide opportunities for them where they are.
I love that example of partnering. Obviously, they gained access and the knowledge base to know how to partner with another organization, another company, to be competitive for these contracts by walking in the door, you know, to the center. And so in our remaining time, I'd just like for each of you to share as a first step, you know, for the small business owner that's out there that, you know, has received all this information and is like, okay, what do I do next? You know, as soon as I leave this space today, what would be your advice to them? I'll just go down the panel, starting with you, Jamila.
Please email me at osdbu, osdbu, at doc.gov. There you'll find a wealth of information, but I cannot stress the importance of that certification. A lot like your example, Eric, I've given so many opportunities to economically disadvantaged, women-owned, service-disabled, veteran-owned. All of these certifications matter. They're funds readily, just at the ready for you to take advantage. I cannot stress it enough. Please contact us. Thank you.
Great. And Tyra, over to you.
Yes, so mine is similar. Please reach out to myself and my team at transportation.gov/OSDBU. We are here to help you and support you. We will help you get connected to the right opportunities. You let us know what your capabilities are, what you're looking for in terms of a contract opportunity. And we also work really closely with our partners at MBDA and SBA, so we can direct you to those resources as well. So please reach out, and we will certainly follow up, and we'd love to talk to you and hear from you.
Thank you, David.
Yes, you can reach me at DBS, David Baker Sam, at labizspeaks.org. Once again, this capital readiness program is from startups all the way to second stage, so don't believe you're not in there. When we talk about DOTT and the 1.3 trillion, there are jobs for catering, for security, for portalets, for landscaping, so don't get intimidated when you hear this big number. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I don't want you to email me. I'm going to give you a website, though. So if you are a woman and you are interested in getting certified, we want you to go to webank.org, WBENC.org. That is going to direct you to any regional partner organization across the country who is going to be able to guide you through certification on the women's business side. That's the WBE certification as well as the WOSB certification. And make no mistake, these programs work. The SBA Small Business Person of the Year this year is from New Orleans, Louisiana, small engineering firm led by I.M. Tucker, Ilse Engineering. She's an MBDA Enterprising Women of Color. It works. The help is out there. You just got to reach out and grab it.
Now, wasn't this some amazing information that was shared with you today? We hope that you got something out of it. I want to thank our panelists for taking the time to come and to share this information. Please reach out, to all of these folks that have provided information to you as you look to scale and grow your businesses. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you.
Thank you.